check a little bit about. So basically, let me see where it is. I'm trying to get to a thing with the. So this is an association of people that have come from basically behavioral sciences and industry, and they realized that that what they need to have is a kind of an active database that is that's able to quickly understand what's going on. So we know about the facial recognition, and we know about the walking signatures of people. So this is about trying to create a kind of standardized environment for everyday behavior. And let me quickly try to, is it always case studies, how it works. So I have to get to visualizing life. If you see that, give me a. I can show it later today if I can see it quickly. It's not the YouTube video. It's they have something live on that side. But basically, it's like the data engine has behavioral information. The service it goes to the service provider, your operator, and you. So the whole point of this is the shift from customer relation management to vendor relation management. And there is something to say for all of this, because once you have your own patterns sort of mapped, you can expose these patterns to service providers. So basically, you become the central point of attention, and you expose what you want to have in basically any kind of service. But then again, we have to make very, very sure that that we basically have agency on what is the coalition sort of page I want to find, and I will show you. All I'm saying is this is happening. They recently put out their OASIS kind of standardization, and well, yes. Yeah. Well, that was just an example. It's basically to say that they have mapped everyday life sort of to every activity, from hobbies to cooking to personal care to everything to brushing your teeth, and basically all of these activities are then getting a number, so they're in a database. So that is basically, and again, this is the key to this transition in which we are today, and this is the world in which basically you're growing up in. And so the whole notion of agency is no longer on the level of politics or parties or voting or just all this ideology. Sort of the whole agency of life is on this kind of technological level. So we know when Gramsci in the 30s had his famous quote on politics and hegemony, when he was saying that in order to have political power, you need to have cultural power. So this is basically what drove us in our thinking for the past 100 of years. And this is now shifted and changed into technological power. So basically, if you don't have technological agency, you have no political power, which is exactly what we're experiencing in Europe, where basically we have no longer agency. So what I just shown, this next generation internet, is basically our hope to get some agency back. And again, in Europe, we lost the data wars. GDPR is buying us some time to get it back. We lost the platform wars. We cannot afford to lose this AI layer. If we lose this AI layer, where the next level of meaning is getting sort of built, then, well, basically, we can no longer function as a 500 million zone. So this is really important. But that's sort of the high level sort of story. But when you think about it, what it means for you as a person, and me as an older person, I'm going out. I will sort of retreat at some point and be quite happy sitting out there and just catching some sun. but you're growing up in it. So who's growing up in it, you've got a tough time ahead if you don't find a way to create agency on the building blocks to build these type of systems. Now that's why we're here. So I think it's time for a break. And that's what we're going to try to show today, that we have these building blocks, and that with these building blocks we can build a real alternative. Not a counter, but a real livable alternative to all of these systems. Thank you.
I like to do it without. May I do it without, or it's terrible for the... With. Okay, I will do it with. So I'm Federico, buongiorno. I live in Holland. I come from Italy. I'm here with Dyn.org. I introduced myself with some of you before. What I would like to do, to take over from Rob and his presentation, is to talk about the situation a little bit. Because he was talking about situations, and situations are a very interesting concept, in my opinion. I will make a very simple example. Let's start from here. So here we are in this beautiful former cinema. I see a lot of writing with red that I don't understand because it's Chinese to me. I guess you understand what's written on it. It's an interesting building. I've been tutored yesterday about the building. There is air conditioning, and if you go close, it's a little bit too much. Would you like to get up with me and come? We make a visit of this situation. We change it a bit. Just get up and come with me. So we do a little tour around, just to start the day working out with the idea of situation. No, the situation was till a moment ago was everybody seated down at a table, quite anonymous, no, and a guy a little bit fat in the belly talking to you. Now you come with me. Let's experience a bit what's going on here. Maybe this is going to blow a whistle in a moment, so I will be careful not to. What I would like you to do is to start to experience the place, no? Walking a little bit around and trying to observe what there is inside this place that is remarkable. And for remarkable, I make some examples, let's say. I make some examples very simple. The air conditioning here is remarkable. Do it. Don't. What I would like you to do the next half an hour is do instead of think. Just do. So you can try the temperature. If you are curious about it, you can check how it works. You can get killed. You can touch the stuff. You can touch everything that it's not red rings. Are you not curious to see how it is the place seen from the stage? Let's go see the stage. So who of you have ever been on a big stage like this? You could make an opera. Yeah. When I taste a place, I always make noise to hear how is the sound. Non-amplified. Can you hear me good from the back? Do I have to talk a little bit more active? Buongiorno, good morning, everybody. There is a very good sound. It has an echo a bit above. So I'm telling you what I noticed. Yesterday I noticed that there is my name here. And yeah, this holds. It's not going to fall on our head. Touch stuff. Please, take your chance to touch stuff you would not touch usually. Don't worry, we can wash our hands afterwards. No, when you start to move into one space, you start to feel it a bit different. I like it very much. So, beautiful, eh? So, we are going to pass the whole day together, so I would like to know a bit each other and introduce myself. But since we are alone, to introduce ourselves, I will go to use a trick. So, the trick is the following. Do you like to stay on stage or you prefer to be on downstairs? I think on stage is right. So, we're going to make a line in the middle of the stage. Everybody that is part of the line faces here and the other one stay there.
You have to use.
Thank you. I have to use this, but the situation changes if I use this. Yeah, okay, I use this. Sorry about using this microphone. So, okay, now I would like you to order random. How can we mix a random here? Let's say, Aspasia, give me a hint to make a random mix of people. Let's say we exchange two. Matching colors, yes. If you have a color with somebody else that is close to you, yes. Yes, okay. Yeah, I would like everybody to choose a person that you don't know. Yes, something like that. So, for example, I would choose somebody I don't know, for example, you. Okay. We have matching colors. Yes, my shoes, look. My shoes, this. No, it doesn't match. This matches. Okay. So, you found somebody you match. Now, I would like you to introduce yourself to him very, very fast. Like, you make an introduction, like you explain who you are. I'm sorry, you better fetch somebody else because I have already introduced myself and then I make a mess. So I'm sorry, you introduce yourself with somebody else. And yeah, okay, no, I introduce you, So please ask very fast to your partner to introduce himself to you, like what you do to live, what is your task, what is your abilities. For example, I'm Federico. I've studied philosophy. I make it as an example. I'm Federico. I've studied philosophy. I work for Dynorg. I know a bit of programming. I know a bit of acting. I know a bit of everything, and I don't know nothing. This is my introduction. So I introduce myself to you. Then you can introduce yourself to me.
Okay. My name is Jill. Yeah, I come from New Taipei. I'm studying in Taiwan Normal University. Okay.
What do you study?
I study East Asia.
East Asia.
Yeah. East Asia. Yeah, this region. Yeah.
Thank you very much. What was the name again?
My name is Jill.
Jill.
Thank you.
This is Jo. Yeah, she's come from New Taipei. She studies Asian studies. Yeah, so I introduce you, Jo. So what I would like you to do is to know your friend and then introduce him to me. We do it fast, for example. Please, just interview your neighbor and then I can make an interview. So interview your neighbor. So introduce yourself to your neighbor, so then I can make a fast. Of course, please. So, I know, it's very complicated. This is very complicated, but yes. Sì. Beh, c'ha la formula di Boltzmann sulla pancia, sarà un brav'uomo.
He didn't introduce.
But anyway, we know him, so I stepped to the... You understood how it works? So it's easy, no? Please, can you introduce her?
Sure. She's Huang Yin, and now she studied for information design in National Taiwan Technological University.
Right. Do you mind to introduce her?
She's Xiaoying, and she's from Kaohsiung, and she do some artworks. No, about art.
It's difficult to explain my department.
Can you say it very fast to the audience, please?
What?
What do you do?
What do I?
I mean, what she said, she didn't say.
Okay, I just told you. Now I study my master for interdisciplinary art.
Okay, interdisciplinary art. Please, can you please introduce our friend here?
I'm happy to introduce my friend Rob. He was actually born in Britain, but he's been in Ireland for 20 years. He's a professor.
And vice versa.
This is Michael, who's an American living in Berlin for the past 25 years, who runs a kind of housing association foundation interested in kind of community housing solutions.
So if you need a house in Berlin, you can ask Michael, but don't say that I said to you. Huh? Yes, hi, Jun.
Yeah. Okay, my name is Jill. She is Yuling, and she is studying art, and she is a staff of this activity. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Joe, and she studied in Taiwan Normal University, and she's major in East-West Asia and geography. Yeah.
Please keep attention that then I ask you. I mean, I ask you the name, the occupation, so keep everything in mind, please.
Okay. So this is my friend. Her name is Fan Yu, and we kind of come from the same school. But yeah, we came from the same school, and we joined these two. But very short time, we didn't have like much conversation. So it was, yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much. Do you mind to introduce her?
Her name is Christy, and we come from the same school.
That's all. For now? Okay, thank you very much. Do you mind to introduce... what's the name of it? Yeah, there. What's the name of it?
Wesley Girls High School.
So this is my friend Chen Lin, and she's a professor in Taipei. She does amazing work in China in the rural areas, and she lived in the US for quite a number of years, maybe 20, yeah, and in California, taught in Maryland. You've been to a lot of places.
Thank you for Ned. He's also a professor, and he has a very inspiring and a very radical way of thinking. And I really enjoy his research regarding the information centers and those powerhouses, especially in Singapore. And it's amazing that he has been in Taiwan for many times, since 2002, 2006, and 2010. So I believe this is the first time. Yeah, and also these two cute girls join us, and we are very, very surprisingly understand that their teacher is right there, and so.
So you're already making class.
And they did Arduino study.
Yes, but this was not, they managed, you see, professors managed to exchange a lot of information very fast, but they're also shy and they don't put themselves close to people they don't know already. So, one more information, please.
Well, you know, these students really are pretty amazing. They've been doing Arduino board studies after school with their teachers' help, I guess. But, you know, that's the start, I reckon, to build your own devices.
Well, that was a nice spot for Arduino. Thank you very much. Let's go for the next one. You don't participate? Yeah.
So I introduced Sing Dream, and she's working here at C-Lab, and basically running the show, from what I believe, so like this. And she studied philosophy. Before, yes, and she's from Taipei.
Rob came from Kent and studied literature, and he tried to survive in the crazy world, as he said. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, and I'm going to introduce Yana here. And she is from New Taipei, and she works about digital marketing. Yeah, digital marketing. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, he is Kimi, and he's industrial designer, and he's from Miaoli.
Yeah, and I'm Kim. I will introduce Kim, and she's doing